Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to today's webinar. I sincerely thank our organizer, CA Dr. Raj Chawla, for his vision and effort in making this session possible. I now request him to kindly deliver the opening remarks.
Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, I welcome all of you in this today webinar on artificial intelligence platform for CFOs and auditors. Today we are very honored that we have very expert AI expert, two faculties, Mr. Amit Rehan and Mr. Lala Tendu Panigrahi ji. And friends, today they will cover zero decision latency, instant insight, faster decision, accurate ERP intelligence, real-time data across all ERPs, audible AI, transparent, explainable responses, on-premises control, full data security, and lower TCO, built for CAs and professionals, smarter audit and advisory. So my request to all of you, if you have any query during the deliberation of our faculty, you can ask directly. Otherwise, you can post your query in the Q&A or chat box. Our moderator, Mr. Hitesh, will take all of your queries after the deliberation of our faculties. So with this, happy learning. Thank you for joining. Over to Hitesh.
It is my pleasure to introduce our esteemed speakers for today's session on leveraging AI for smarter decision making and transformation in finance and audit. Mr. Amit Tehlan, co-founder of NextGen Trophy.ai. Mr. Amit is a visionary leader in AI-driven business solutions, helping organizations unlocking faster decisions, sharper insights, and scalable automations. We are delighted to have him with us today. Mr. Lalatendu Panigrahi, co-founder of NextGen Trophy.ai. Mr. Lalatendu Panigrahi brings deep expertise in technological innovation and expertise transformation. He specializes in business scalable AI solutions and deliver tangible value for finance leaders and auditors. Together, they bring a powerful combination of strategic vision and execution, excellence in applying AI to real-world business challenges. Without further ado, I now invite our esteemed speakers to take over.
Okay.
Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much for such warm introduction. Uh, we are going to share a brief presentation just to talk about what this firm does, what we do, how you can really take benefit of this session today. As Chawla ji, Raj ji have mentioned in the beginning, feel free to post your questions. This should be a platform where you have a lot of things that can make you and your organization, end customer where you're working, more sort of taking value out of this AI platform. We'll start with the organization intro a bit. So Nijin Trophy is a name which comes from the law of thermodynamics. It basically means the order in chaos. So like Earth in entire universe is moving towards more chaotic situation, but Earth is nitrotropic, and so is what we believe that we need to work in
ओपन
bringing this
कॉल्स
sort of.
जो 10 अप्रैल से पड़ी हैं वो प्लस जो
I
अप्रैल में रेज हुई लेकिन जिनका जो हमारा
I request all the participants to keep mute if you are not asking any questions, please.
Hitesh, you can mute all the participants because you are, yeah, please. Sir, please continue. Amit sir,
Sure,
please continue.
sure. So as I was giving the background, so this basically helps to bring some sort of order to the chaos which happens when a lot of technologies are also getting introduced. You would see a large organization where you are doing audit, or the large organization who is consuming this audit. You would figure out that their data complexity, whether they use multiple ERPs or different portals application, which is now part of life, makes it very difficult to look at the gigantic, enormous data churning which is happening across the system. So how does you are able to make a lot of sense out of this in a very simple, unified way, is the attempt that we have made as an organization, and we have created this platform, which is NXPy. We go to the next slide, LP. Uh, and a bit about us. So, I and LP both, we have spent about 2 decades each in large IT establishment, both in India and abroad, in different capacity in delivering a lot of transformation to large customers like Saudi Aramco's and Swiss banks and so on and so forth, in the different geographies, where we help to look at these customers to think about the IT enablement
Uh,
within the organization
Sir,
slightly more.
sorry to intervene, but participants are asking to increase the voice if you can.
Is my volume, is it not that great? Am I coming very far?
Amit, it is loud and clear for me, but yeah,
Is this better? Am I
you,
my audio coming out better
Yes, sir.
now? Okay, sure. So that's where we were, as I was mentioning, that we both of us have worked in large IT enterprises in delivering a lot of this transformation to large scale customers, where we essentially believe now that the way these services are rendered, either through a product companies or through services company, are more or less around certain product rather than the actual problems that are getting solved. And that led to us creating an organization and also to work on this platform which can help the end customer slightly more efficient. Today, when we talk about this, I think
Sir,
hello, yes.
हाँ जी सर बोलिए.
Is it a question to me? Uh, okay. Can I just move to next slide?
Yes, sir.
Sure. LB, my voice is coming okay now?
So it can be improved a little.
Coming, is it not better?
Yes,
yes,
sir. This is better.
Amit,
Okay. Let me see. We'll continue with that. I'll slightly increase my volume. So this is the attempt, as I have said, to create this unified enterprise synaptic plane. Now, what has happened in the organization? The organization has these multiple tools. So somebody is using different SAP modules, somebody is using Salesforce, somebody is using some custom application. The applications are also residing in cloud now, and there are multiple such utilization for different workflows, whether it is finance, whether it is for supply chain, whether it is for anybody who is in procurement application. So organization has different function, while finance has a view of all the function in total. But essentially, each of these function also work independently in working across these different platforms to see that how do we can get a value out of it. So that's a bottom line on which they work. Uh, the idea was for us to create the platform, which is NXPy, which sits as a enterprise synaptic plane. It basically cuts across all these application in total sync. It resides in customer own data center or cloud, so that there's no security issue, and it make DPDP compliant and also GDPR compliant, which is government pushing all the organization for to ensure the data and everything is in a secured way, specifically around customer, are being held very or dealt with very secure and prudent way. So this was what we have built, delivered. Now, most of these platforms, first, none of those in the market who has come across today, uh, each such application is coming with their own such agentic platform, but that is not going to give a lot of value to end users. Like specifically for finance, I can use if my organization is using some custom apps, some SAP, some bit from Salesforce, where I need to correlate sales data with, let's say, during an audit with whatever has happened or posted in SAP. So I may want to check from where the sales meeting has happened, whether they have been post dated, whether they have been rightly occurred in particular quarter, what is the trace of it. So I cannot have those sort of information from my SAP. I will take those data indicator from Salesforce, or if I have any custom application, I would try and look at that. And that's always a bit difficult for anybody to sit across these different platforms and have a singular view out of this. And that's a challenge which market has faced, not just for finance application alone, but multiple such application. Just moving on. This is a slide which has been
मैं के
shared.
एग्जॉस्ट बंद करी आवाज नहीं आ रही
Sorry, hello. Is my audio okay? I'm just got. So is
Sir,
that
he
was the
is
question?
asking to increase the volume.
My volume is full, gentlemen. Is my audio okay now?
Yes,
Or
sir.
is it a with one or two? There could be an issue at some particular
Okay, sir.
end, but
इट्स अ बिट ऑन द लोअर साइड
it's bit on the lower side. I'm just trying to see how do I make this better. I'm using earphones. Is, is it any better now?
यस बेटर
This is better.
यस
Are
इट्स
you able
ऑडिबल
to?
नाउ
It's audible now. Okay. Okay. Let's. Shall I go ahead with this now? If that's okay with everyone.
Yes, sir.
यस सर
Okay. Okay. Perfect. So let's look at this truth. So most of complex organization, the name that I've taken, whether you talk about companies like Saudi Aramco or Reliance and so and so forth, even with all those spend that they have made in their IT infrastructure and application, which is huge, so from a money point of view, but within their organization, the decision making is having two worlds on its own, and these two worlds don't speak with each other most of the time. So your leaders, specifically CFOs and the others, would like to see certain reports which are coming in PDF. They don't generally want to get into SAP level system on their own. Even they have the access, but they generally don't prefer to do that on their own to really see what analysis they need. They have their team members who represent respective department, whether it is finance controlling, APAR, record to reports, whatever different function segregation, slice and dice they would have done, whether it is shared services. They are the one who bring these reports back to them, and they analyze and take decision. While they have to take the decision, the reports are always very static in nature. So if I get a report as a CFO this morning and I have certain observation on it, if I ask my IT team or business analyst team to get me certain information which I am also not very clear of, but I want to suspect, earmark one or two areas and ask for that report. The latency that happens by me asking and somebody bringing it to me is huge. Sometimes we have seen that goes as high as about 15 days and as low as about 6 to 7 hours for somebody to come back that here is a report from the data as you have asked to take further decision out of this. And that delay in basically they arriving at certain decision is a point where they end up taking a lot of these calls basis their gut feel, basis their experience, basis some assumption which they take from the data which is available. And most of the time these assumptions may correct, may not get correct, is 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 something sorry, may I? Yeah, I'm just getting certain sound from background. Hello. Yeah. So can I just request if there is no question, then please, if you can be on mute, it'll be easy to carry with the conversation. And if you have any question, do please feel free to ask. Happy to respond to anything that comes in between. So that's where the world one, world two exist. World two basically need this information, which is the CXOs, and your world one is largely around the team who works on these modules. They are your IT team, your business analyst team, or your finance team who is well adapted to know what SAP tables, what SAP structure, from where do I pull in the data, how do I re-enter the data if it has been done wrong. If there is certain policy violation, what do I need to really change all that? I do all those part is a part where your world one does it. But while they are making these sort of requests on those data requests which is coming from CFOs or CXOs, the time it take for these workers to extract the data from system is huge. So the time back and forth switching between different application, taking a data pull, finding out whether they have a right representation coming out of it, are they able to get certain meaning and analyze it to a point of your question that has been asked, is a challenge that has come. Now, on the same side, when the other companies has asked that take certain more implementation your way from making these things better, you figure out that most of the expenses that has been made by these organization have gone down the drain. There a lot of transformation, IT transformation specifically, has failed. These data is just not for small sector. It is a representative of both US and India as well as Europe as a consolidated market. And these migration cost huge amount of money and capital and takes a lot of time to stabilize. And while this is happening, vendors like Microsoft, SAP themselves, or Claude or OpenAI are now going to market and say, this is our AI agentic platform. Why don't you use it? But it is not really making you address the fundamental problem, which is residing in the silos of the data that you have created. You are not able to generate certain outcome out of it. And if I have to do it, I again to spend huge amount of money, which basically stops me from or prohibit me from using some of these AI more adopted. And when we get to an AI sort of pilots, which is most of these organizations are merged in, they figure out that I am not able to get much value out of it. It is again in silos, is not much happening. The estimated cost of this is being done by A to Z report, very recently, about 3 months back, is the cost of this is about $380 billion, which is spent on these ERP implementation and implementation and integration. But there is no outcome. There is no value out of this, which organization is feeling that it just has become necessity to do it, but nothing out of it. Now, the question which everybody is asking, that can AI basically help us to do it? Can AI basically transform the way these decisions are made within the organization? And how does us as a finance professional help in basically taking this adoption of AI in a very, I would say, prudent and natural way, which makes a lot of these things explainable, which are grounded in the reality, which is not hallucinating with whatever AI has to bring, and hence see to make these value which is there, which most of the companies are feeling that unlocked, is just unlocking those value and bring it out. The small narrative is how do you bring these world one and world two, which is the bridge broken together. So I go to the next slide. Post that. Uh, this is what our essential platform does. So basically, it's a cross link between all your application, whether you have cloud application, whether you have on-premises application like SAP or Microsoft or Oracle, whatever that you're using today, or in manufacturing setup. So any ERP where you are recording the data is where you have these information. You have these adjacent system which is residing whether on cloud or on premises. You bring everything together, and then you have a plane which is deployed in your infrastructure. Hence, you are making it very clearly governed by design. It has open standard. That means they are able to see what this does. There is no cost pressure tomorrow because this has been made on open stack. So my cost of this platform is known and certain. It doesn't really shoot up with any component increasing its price. It helps you to take a very faster decision, which is, rather than days and weeks to maybe seconds and minute most. The act which is coming, whether it is EU, whether it is DPDP Act, it is completely in accordance with that. And also, all the output you see is a verifiable and transparent. You are able to see the decision track, how it has been made. What we have observed so far, we have done these implementation in few of the large cement manufacturers in North. We have also done this implementation with large auto suppliers based out of North again. And we have seen these outcomes to come out that they've been able to do their financial close faster. Moment they are able to close their books, whatever discrepancies which was coming from different GLs and the others, the finance team was able to look at, consolidate, and take the view of moving into a more faster closure in a very shorter span of time, which happened in a day's time with the customer that we are talking about. It is also able to do a lot of revenue forecasting because it is connected with your sales engine. It is looking at all the trend which is within your financial data, from which customer, what product, how much you have sold, what is the prediction, how is your sales beat plan looking in Salesforce. It is able to do a very accurate sales forecasting planning, which is not heuristic. Today, most of the sales forecasting is heuristic, which is taking certain trend, projecting it outward, and with certain assumptions in the background. Those assumptions has become more real and valid with AI. You are looking at tax and compliance, that how does my tax and compliance within the organization is, where does it stand today, what are the issues where which are open, how do I address it. I will show you one case of each such to you so that you have a look at it. How are you SOX compliance or HIPAA compliance if you are in healthcare, and you take a more confident sort of decision. With that, I think I would pause the presentation and I'll get to show you the actual product, to show you how it looks, how you can interact with it. Uh, you don't need the AI degree or some AI course or something. You can be in a very natural way interact with this tool and get the outcome for your analysis. As I said, we are showing this on the financial query, but this is not limited to financial queries alone. Since this is sitting on your entire ERP data of the organization, you may also start asking these questions, whether they are from procurement point of view or purchase point of view or from sales point of view, and it will be able to give you a lot of value out of it. So we get to so this utility. I would now request my partner LP to just maybe walk through a bit of it and show you 2, 3 use cases that we have curated for this session today. Show you how it looks like, how you can work with those and take it forward. LP.
Thanks, Amit. Thanks, everybody. Wish you have a good afternoon. So this is the platform which we have created for our enterprise customers. The platform is purpose is built to uh, integrate with the enterprise tools like SAP, Salesforce, or some other things. They have custom built applications for their financial applications they have built for for their enterprise. It can straight away connect to those platforms and integrate with those platforms and work on. Let's first I'll show you some of the queries, which actually how it works. Then, if audience interest, if they would like to, then we can have a deep dive on all the functionalities this platform cater. So I will just quickly show you one here. The CFO, they have a question. What is our current EBITDA and net profit trend is last quarter this year. So this means for this query, it has been integrated with SAP FICO and model. So all the tables, FICO tables has been integrated backend. So the data pulled from there and it will prepare the report. You can see it will be the explainability part. This is the explainability, how it backend, how it works. So it will be, this is a not just natural language questions. It's not required to be a user who will be using. He doesn't need to be he or she doesn't require to be proficient in finance domain. They can simply ask in this natural language. They can ask their questions. This is a simple question in natural language, and that question will be AI. Will what it will do. This will interpret these questions. You can see now this questions has been interpreted, and it just find out the intent of these questions. Then it created a detailed plan to get this detail whatever the user is asking for, because it looks, it may be because all you guys are finance guys, so you know to derive these things is a complex activity. It's not a straight away. You will be just jumping into one table and you will be or one data sources, you will be having this information. It's a complex activity altogether. That it will backend, it will plan all these things. The AI will plan all these things, and then it will create a sequence of activities. Just different agents it will create. So these are the different agents, because this is mostly the data resides in SAP, this scenario. So these are the agents who will be interacting with SAP FICO model, and they will be retrieving the data, all this data. Then once this data will be retrieved from this source, whatever the available source, then it will create a tabular representation. So you can see this is the now for year 2024, 25 and 26. This data it has created revenue in a million, and EBITDA figure in also million, margin, net profit, net margin, and year-on-year growth, and all these things it has been generated. And this is actually user also having a flexibility to change this table like this a period. It would like to just only have to these three things. These things you don't want. Then you can change it. This table will be only having this details. So they have a flexibility to change the table structure according to their own requirement. Also, they can export into different, just like PDF, Excel, and they can do that flexibility they are having. Once they will be having this information, then it will just create a pictorial representations, means different charts. You can see here. So this is the chart sheet prepare on chart here for year 2004, 2025, 2026. And then it will create a little matrix table. This is the matrix table, and then quarter over quarter, and then at the end you will just give also an overview on discrepancies, also what is the improvement plan and what how they can if there will be any discrepancies there, then it will find out, and also it will give us a course of actions what they need to they can do. Then on top of that, they can ask for follow-up questions. Means this is the things, this initial questions I have asked, and this it has generated. And after to that, I may be having on this, looking into this figure, this data, I may be having a follow-up questions. So supplement, this is what is my requirement. Then I can ask those supplement questions. Then I ask what are the potential challenges. Then once these questions, again the same pattern it follow, then it will do a analysis, then it will generate again a table. What is the having the all the details. So it means it will accumulate all the figures and it will create a comprehensive table. This table is the base to prepare the challenges. So from these tables, a finance guy were looking into these tables, because these tables having cost line, actual, plan, overrun, year on year increase, and the risk parts, everything's are there. So by looking into this, a finance guy is able to identify actually what is the issues by simply looking into the tables, because this is his own data, organization data. By looking into this in a comprehensive view of in tabular format, he could be able to see what is the issues. Here also it can see this part, it has identified which are the high value which are the high values risk. So let me just hold on here. Yes, repair and maintenance is having risk flag high. Packing material cost is also high. Like this way, segregated into three buckets: high, medium, and low. Depreciation expenses is low, and then it generated a deep. It's a create a map. I just expand this map into maybe 1 minute. Okay. Yes. So I think it maybe looks better. Yes. So you can see this is actually create financial risk, regional disparity, pricing pressure, rising input cost, high operating cost. All these things it clearly those figures drill down. Then and it created a clear structure challenges in means what are the challenge input cost rising, but it created a detailed chart uh, mentioning all the details. Again, after that, also there are you have a provision to if you don't like also this different types of charts or graphs is having flexibility. The user they can ask they would like to bar chart, flow chart, or any other whatever the chart they will be comfortable with to capture those data sources. They can ask for, and it will show those data in that particular format. You can see these are the different charts just created, or this is spider chart, and then it will be having a summary of because this they have asked all the challenges whatever then it is summarized. These are the 6 challenges, key challenges means they are currently having. It's also in 3 buckets: critical, high, and medium. It's segregated, and which and signal. What is the data signal? Why it's actually having this segregating on this challenges that are clearly mentioned those things. Then again also after to that, if they have any further follow-up questions particular to any of these data points, they can ask also simply they can ask here in the natural language, and again it will do a follow-up reasoning, and backend it will analyze the data sources, and it will create explanation for those particular data. This is one, and then similar to this another one we can discuss about quickly. Predominantly like this everything are similar. What is the current cash position and runway for the organization? So to say for the asked, so then it did the same thing, and it generated the current cash positions and what is the value. Everything is created in a tabular format. All the data in also it created a comprehensive actually with uh, chart format. Okay, so this is the cash flow waterfall. Cash flow waterfall. This is cash balance and operating cash flow trend, and a liquidity health scorecard and current cash position in this summarized way. It just has shown us what is the gross operating bond and net cash burn, and a key insight also it created. And at the end, it's shown on liquidity health. What is the current ratio of it? All these things, and at the end also it will help CXO, means if it's a CFO, CEO, or whoever the CXO level who are actually working on this data. It will ask means help them to this. They are the solutions for them. Okay, so action items for them to work on those things. So
The
this is
idea, the idea as we are talking about is not just giving a data outcome view or representation of the data alone. It is also interpreting that data for the user to really help them to see what, where, how they are residing, and if they have to overcome these challenges, how they do it. Today, this data is all synthetic data, so whatever that we have built on, this is not actual customer data. So as a finance, when you are looking at these some of these days and figures may look off, and they would rightly look off because this is all synthetic. We are not exposing any actual customer data in the course of this presentation. What but the fundamental of the analysis is where we are talking about that utility has that value. This is able to real time without taking much time, whatever dimension, slice and dice you want to have your on your own data, you may be able to get within few seconds or minutes, the analysis that is required, and not just from the representation of data alone, as LP has walked through, that it is able to reason and give it to you in table or in different charts or different graphs. You can share it with whosoever you want to share right here because your Gmail or your email are configured. I can send it this report without saying that, how do I bring it to my email and then send it out. I can simply say that send it to so and so email ID here. It will send those consolidated into a PDF report and send it out. So you don't have to do much from disseminating this information as well. But the beauty of it is to give you these scenarios to plan for it. One such in IT organization we have seen that typically when they have a setup which is in US and they have set up in India, there are a lot of transfer pricing thing that happen while I get paid in USD and I raise it in INR and I have to hedge my FX and I need to create certain policies around it. I discover with banks and with certain volatility which is happening in the market. How do I really figure out that what changes is required in my hedging policy? Now that's a very simple thing to really ask that what changes it requires, and with the geopolitical or macroeconomic situation, what is the scenarios that I should plan? That itself is a 2 3 days job for the team to really sit down, analyze the policy, look at, speak with different team, and then execute maybe by talking to these banks and look at what rate they are giving those hedge. But you can create those scenarios on this tool beforehand to your conversation with the bank. Figure out the loopholes in your own hedging policies with a real time question where it goes into the table, find out what's your policy, how it has impacted, from which country and which commodity, what price item that you've been under that transfer pricing gamut within the enterprise is more impacted, and how do you resolve it. So those scenario plannings becomes very, very efficient and easy for the organization to build and create and take forward. Is the part that we wanted to highlight. Uh, and more such thing, so government come with a lot of incentive schemes, specifically for tax. You do certain, you take benefit out of those incentive schemes as government comes in. But am I eligible? If I am eligible, how do I go about it? For tax litigation, if there are certain cases that has happened which is favorable, which I can then put down and take certain credit back and fight it out from a tax point of view. How do I keep a check of it? How do I interpret whether those right cases judgment are in my favor? How do I do all that? Is a part where it sits not just within your enterprise data alone. It is also real time connected to the outward world as well, and you can point towards the sources from where you would like to get that sort of information for you to take a better informed decision. So that's a part I just wanted to also bring on table while LP was showing the core of what we are doing. Sorry, LP. I think back to you for the other two use cases. Yes.
Right, let's have one more use case, then we can discuss about the audience if they have any questions related
Yes.
to, yeah, how we can correlate our platform to their
Problems.
usability.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's just uh, uh, similarly, this is also, as Amit was telling, it's all the data are the synthetic data. These are not any of the customer or production data. So there may not be, they may be having a lot of discrepancies, but what is our objective is to just to show how it works, but not the granular level about the data. So this is actually means where we can just by just asking generate a GST compliance and input task credit optimization report for financial year 2025-2026. We are assuming they are in FIC or the all skills tables for organizations which we have is ramp or with the organizations for our customers. Those informations are available in their SAP, and it will be available in SAP, or you have any customized applications where it's available this information your organization gives data, then it can work on and it can create a comprehensive report for you. So here we ask generate GST comprehensive input as credit optimization report, and in this case they are maintaining it in SAP FSCO model. So that's why, uh, like earlier, it will just create a. You can see the by interpreting these questions, these questions, it created generated comprehensive GST compliance report, including IT analysis and GST transactions. What is actually why I'm showing you, maybe you just will be having a brief idea means what is the backend, how it works. So what it will do, it will go for all GST transactions, sales and purchases, input tax credits, GST, SGT, IGST, vendor and supplier data, customers, tax category, invoice data, and all these purchases, sales, vendor, all this also relations inverse, all this relationship it will derive from the SAP tables, configuration table, and then it will create a. This is the output. It will generate it like this: total GST collected, total ITC claim, net GST payable, month-wise GST trend, vendor-wise ITC analysis, tax category breakdown, compliance status. So this is the whole objective by analyzing this one line statement. This AI analyzed the statement and created a plan to do for this statement. So once this plan has been created, they are the next stages. All these stages you can see. It started interacting with the respective tables in backend to derive those figures and those reports. So these cases will be clicking one by one. You can see lot of data are just pulling from backend. So for interpretability, so what is the meaning of these things? Means why I'm just showing you. Someone should be whatever the data is showing, he or she should be having confidence. Okay, whatever I'm seeing on where it's actually pulling those information. It should not be a black box to me. There's some data I am getting and I don't know where it is. This data has been fetched or data has been retrieved. So these are the explainability part. To explain to means individual how this information or the report has been generated from the beginning to end. So now this is actually now create a summary of detailed table. Tax value outward. You can see transactions total. This is the total amount or total transactions. I'm not going little in means one by one, but this total taxable value output, total GST collected like this way, it will create all this information in a tabular form. Once this data has been created, then month-wise also GST liability and ITC summary for 2025-26 is also created. Month-wise the data is created, but data there may be some discrepancies because it's as there is it's a synthetic data. There is some missing values and data appropriate data should be there. That is there. That is known to us because we can't expose to customer data. So that's why we knowingly we have work on this synthetic data. So now it's just whatever which means ITC status the green R actually is already is achieved. So and this ember is pending and this character one. You can it's an explanatory one. And then in fact top customer outward GST it's just each customer wise. So it also it is showing individual customer one by one what is their taxable value and IGST, SGST. It's also means having the figure also it's clearly showing the tabular format, what is the IGST, cost and CSP, all these things, total tax output and invoice value, everything is just generated in tabular format. This similar means it's all the table means what is the vendor wise means their GST number and taxable amount, all these things. It's a drill down every vendor wise, everything in a detail wise is created. And are the aim is just they created a compliance optimization report, which is actually having some charts there on price different types of charts which created this pie chart and uh, donut chart, all these charts it has created. Then this is the key findings and optimization and recommendation. Here it's clearly what is the risk it's identified. Uh, yes. So and also so high it's again is segregated into three bucket: high, medium, low, and also its recommendation. That's also suggested. The other recommends what they have immediate action they can do. That recommendation is suggested. So what also means what is the pending and which are what is the file six are successfully filed and one is pending. This FTD is just identified and priority action. It also means summarize at the end. This is the priority actions. Amit, you would like to add anything here? Please.
Yeah, I think we're good. The idea is, very simple. The story that sits with the organization, there's many of such CFO or finance team, specifically tax team, is called by the tax authority on a very regular basis. The team goes with certain data prepared, and tax authorities have also prepared certain data. And during that conversation, there are questions which have been asked where you have that sort of time to then come back, and maybe in next meeting you would have those data points on question that has been asked, and how you're really looking at the reconciliation, whether there's certain violation, whether the government feels from a tax point of view that the story has been different. For you to validate that outcome right in front of such authority becomes a matter of seconds. So imagine being sitting with those with those government officials in that conversation, which is a very regular sort of thing that happens. So while it is happening, you are able to get a lot of these information out from your own system while sitting in front of them, and able to articulate your position basis the accurate data, and look at challenge some of these assumptions which the tax authorities have made, uh, and go with a very sort of, I would say, structured way to do it, is a problem that we have seen getting solved. So the exposition or the utilization of this tool is not just with few of the use cases as we have shown. This is just indicative way to look at. It is deriving, as LP was saying, that for each question it is drilling down the intent, it is drilling down the data sources, and then it is representing the data. Your question change, your source of data would also change. I would go to not just FICO. If I want to look at from a sales compliance point of view, from a numbers point of view as to how I'm looking at, then it may look at not just FICO, may also go to my sales and distribution tables that I have and extract and correlate the data, bring it out. So the limitation is not with scenarios. There is no limitation now with the user to say I can only ask with these particular questions or situations or scenario. The users have that sort of flexibility to query whatever they could from the system. Uh, but the only caveat, your system should have that data. Whether it is right data, good data, bad data is a subjective thing. The organization who is not maintaining good data would also get represented here, that my system people are not pushing the data in system accurately. My all the records are on Excel while I am spending so much of money on SAPs and the other ERP. My tool tells me that my compliance to these ERPs are also not that great. So it helps you to also auto correct that behavior within the organization to have some of these data points coming into the system, so you are able to analyze. Essentially, it is making you as users more powerful, as a decision maker more potent with the actual data, and not undermining your gut, is basically to validate some of the decisions that you're taking, and you are able to take it with much more confidence when it is validated by the system and the data, and you can play with it. I have a certain intuition. I may I may not want to have a discussion with 10 people, but I want to have a discussion with the utility which has been given to me in my enterprise on my cell phone or on my laptop. And in my own privacy, I want to validate some of these guts that I have based on the data and see that am I thinking right? Am I missing anything here? And I can be far more informed, and I can challenge a lot of such decision, and which is taken in the organization and also supported in the organization well. That's largely is the theme. So what I would conclude with is this is not limited to your um finance alone. It speaks with all the enterprise data that you have. We have shown you a slice of it from a finance point of view. The other slices are available. And how do you work with it, deal with it, is a part which we are saying. And I want to just conclude with that, and also maybe in a slide give you to how to go about implementation of certain use cases in one of the presentation slide that we have. And post that, we are open to any questions, any challenges that you are facing, things that you are seeing as a professional coming across your way more often, which are fuzzy, which are not very definitive, which is not a routine thing that you're doing. We are not trying to solve the routine thing here. We are not for routine things. We are saying things which are complex, things which are fuzzy, things which are open ended, which are non conclusive, and you need certain um tool to really help you there. If this is where it sits, there could be many other cases. We are open to listen to that as we speak, and we can keep the slide up, LB, just on that impact and part, and then open to the audience. This one, yes. Yes. So basically, this walks you through from a organization point of view, that how do you look at the different processes? How do you, these are again representative indicators. There could be many such who would fall in there, but you look at both from complexity and impact point of view. These are some of these areas where we see high impact to low impact variance, and from a complexity point of view, which is process complexity and design complexity with the large organization that exists. And this is basically just a roadmap. How do you start in from green to maybe yellow to green, and then cover your blue and red. So how do I circulate between these four circles, and how do I plan my journey if I have to do the implementation? Just a guiding thing, not the Bible, but the way to use it, that in your respective organization you can look at the processes and redistribute it and figure out from where do I should start first. So with that, I think I would give it back to the team, and also for any questions, Q&A, which is there for us to respond. Anything that you have seen or you want to challenge some of our assumptions as well, happy to get challenged there as well. To the organizing team, any questions, anything? Uh, Rajji and team. I hope my audio is now okay. Yeah, I think I've seen a lot of messages on my audio not being working fine.
Yes, Nomad, we can.
Okay. Let's wait.
Yes, sir, it's understandable.
Okay, so any questions from anyone? Any feedback, any discussion, anything that is coming to your mind which you want to have a conversation with us on?
What we would suggest, if you have any challenges in your current of your profile, if you feel that can be also addressed through AI in any way. So let's discuss on those topics and how maybe our tool may not be able to support, but how AI can you can using AI, you can sort it out. That we may also guide on.
Yes. Any problem, as LP saying, any problem in finance which you're solving for yourself, your organization, or your customer, and you find that this is not an easy problem to solve, feel free to talk about it. Uh, Feel free to share it. Or what I can do is I can leave my email ID here just in case if uh, anybody would like to reach out and maybe drop it over an email as well. That also works with us.
Any question, participants? Sir, I think we should conclude the session now.
Sure.
I thank all the participants for joining us today, and we hope the session has been informative and enriching. With this, we conclude today's webinar, wishing you everyone a great evening ahead. Thank you.
Thanks. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for taking time out today. Uh, we
Thanks
much
everybody.
appreciate. Have a great day.